Hi guys, thanks for clicking play. Welcome to episode 20 of Bringing Back Brum. Today it's a transfer special. We're looking at the ins and the outs after the intro. So let's ignore the ins for a moment and take a look at the outs. So I want to pay tribute to the players who are leaving the club and for the reasons why they're leaving. So Lukas Jutkiewicz is off to Bristol City for a fee rising to £2.6 million. Wasn't happy at the club, so I decided to let him go. Mark Roberts was another one that is leaving for a fee up to 5.25. He wanted to talk to Middlesbrough. Jonathan Ground's the same. He wanted to talk to QPR. I'm not one to stand in anybody's way in terms of them wanting to leave the club if they wish to. Robert Tesha was out on loan last season. It's gone for £925,000 to Sandsu. Trevor Carson, bought in last January, wasn't very happy with his game time, so has gone to Hull for £250,000. And Nikolai Brock Madsen has gone to Portsmouth for £500,000. The total, we've bought in £9 million this summer, which is excellent considering our financial predicament at the end of last season. So I was really pleased with the outgoings. There will be a couple more. Maybe Diego Fabrini was on loan last season. He will probably be out the door. Craig Gardner is another one that I'm trying to push to the exit. But enough of those who are leaving. Let's take a look at the players who are joining us for the season 2018-19 and some beyond. So we start with top of the list. After James Wilson's re-signing in the last episode, Angus Gunn has joined us from Manchester City on loan for the season. We are only paying £2,000 of his wages. He is going to be a backup goalkeeper. First and foremost, he may find his way into the team for cup competitions, maybe. Obviously, he's got Thomas Kuszczak and the unmentioned goalkeeper. You've seen his name already, Sam Johnson. So they're going to be vying it out for 1, 2 and 3. I have an order in my head of what order I'd like them to be in. Let me know in the comments below what order you think they should be in, 1, 2 and 3. But a fairly good goalkeeper on loan at Norwich last season in the Championship. Obviously, the son of Norwich goalkeeper Brian Gunn. So if his family pedigree is anything to go by, he's going to be a very good addition to the squad. And the next man in needs no introduction. Aidan Flint has been bought into the club. His loan has been turned into a permanent deal for £1.6 million. That was the fee that was agreed when his loan started last summer. So essentially a replacement for Mark Roberts. I know they spent a little bit of time together during the season last year, but not mainly towards the end. That kind of made my mind up. We've got Harley Dean, we've got Michael Morrison, we've got Aidan Flint. We've also brought in another couple of centre-backs, which you'll see in just a second. Now, I know what you're thinking, Birmingham fans. Sam Johnson, who was on loan at Aston Villa for the last 2 seasons, he's not going to fit in here, is he? He is. Don't see him as an Aston Villa player. He was from Manchester United. And anybody who has been at Manchester United has to be good, right? Surely. So Sam Johnson is in. As I said about Angus Gunn, he will be probably first choice. I'm looking to move Thomas Kuszczak down the pecking order a little bit. So it'll be probably Sam Johnson 1, Angus Gunn 2, with Thomas Kuszczak in at number 3 in terms of the goalkeepers. Because these guys are both very young, 22 and 25 respectively. So having Thomas there to oversee them both is quite a good thing. And he has also been promised that we're going to gain promotion this year, so no pressure. The next man in is former Everton player Phil Jagielka. Now, we lost Paul Robinson. He retired at the end of last season. He still is in the backroom staff at Birmingham, but we lost his influence. At 40, he was the elder statesman of the team. I believe Thomas Kuszczak is older than Phil Jagielka by a year, but he does bring a breadth of experience, having played 312 times for Everton in the Premier League. He was at Sheffield United before that as well. a very good player, a leader, has become the vice captain. And at £3,500 a week, I thought it was a steal to get someone of Phil's quality and experience into a young squad. Now, unfortunately, we have been unable to secure the signing of Sam Gallagher for another season. We tried our best, but Southampton wanted more money and they wanted us to pay all of Sam's wages. So we have looked through the market and Lasse Viva is the man that has come to light. Same sort of statistics, finishing at 12, work rate is 16, which stood out for me. Pace is on the wane, but at 31 I'm not too surprised. Acceleration of 13 as well, aggression of 15, can play that defensive forward role. So if we play the two up top with Wilson and Viva behind him, they will be a dynamic pair. Again, we were shopping in the bargain basement and we found Lasse Viva. Not just looking at this season, we're looking at next season and beyond, and we found Jacob Maddox, who is a former youth team prospect from Chelsea. Can play in centre midfield, which is thumbs up. Plays his deep lying playmaker in the centre midfield role. Can also play behind the striker or wide of the front three, which you know I like to play that front three. His stats are not brilliant, but at 19 years of age there is development there. He has the potential to be a 3-star player. He's not far away from the first team picture. He will be in the first team setup. There was talk of him going out on loan. There have been a couple of loan offers, but I've decided to turn those down and have him as part of the squad for this season. Moving back into the loan market to bring in Kieran Dowell. Now, he was on loan at Nottingham Forest last season. Has done very well in real life, so I thought, why not? I was watching the Football League show, or the Championship, whatever they call it these days, and his name cropped up. So I wrote it down on my pad and went, that's an interesting one. Has the potential to be a 5-star player, currently a 3-star player, has the capability to play in the position, the problem position behind the striker, which we were finding difficult to fill last season. Obviously, Jose Baxter filled it for the second half of last year. Jota's been in there. So he is adept to playing that position in the support role, which I like. Has good long shot, great first touch, good technique. So he's going to be the little magician behind James Wilson to supply for him to score, hopefully. Another one for the future is potentially Brandon Barker. Bought him from Manchester City on a free transfer. Has the potential to be a 4.5-star player. Currently only 2-star. But again, another player that with time and experience can break into that first team setup. He will be around it. Pace is 16. Stand out for me. Obviously, I do like my wingers to be fairly quick, so we can get that ball in the box early. At only 21, I am expecting the mental stats in particular and the technical ones to improve as time goes on. He will be given game time this season, and I am excited about this one. Very excited to see him in action. And on to the next one. Jack Marriott has been bought in from Peterborough for initially £800,000. So he has taken a large chunk of our transfer budget, but again, another player that has got the potential to be absolutely amazing for us. 21 goals in 43 appearances for Peterborough in League One. He will have to make a step up to the Championship. There is no question about that. It is a gamble. I am fully aware it's a gamble, but finishing of 13, dribbling of 14, acceleration of 14, pace of 14, work rate of 13. He has time to improve. He's currently a 2.5-star ability, has the potential to be a 3-star player. Will be the backup to James Wilson along with Lasse Viva, but I am expecting big things and hopefully he can deliver. However, should he not deliver, Dominic Calvert-Lewin may well. Again, another player who was out on loan. He was out on loan at Middlesbrough this time. They went up to the Premier League. So, you know, omens and all that. A good young prospect, can play as the striker or wide. Versatility is the key for Dominic. Acceleration of 16, pace of 15, finishing of 12 could be better, technique of 13, could also be better. Has the potential to be a 4.5-star player, currently a 3-star player, but they say he's important, and I'm hoping that is the case. Now, this next one's probably going to cause the most controversy among the Birmingham City fans. Alan Hutton is here. For those that don't know, I am a Spurs fan. Super Owl was part of our League Cup winning side of 2008. At 33 years of age, he is definitely in the prime of his career. Some would say he's probably past the prime of his career. But with Maxine Collin, we did need a backup to him. Alan Hutton is that man. Obviously, bravery of 16, work rate of 14. He has been getting up and down pitches around the country for many, many years. And I am pleased to bring in Alan Hutton. I know that some people won't be pleased to see him, but I for one am. And last, but by no means least for the time being, I'll show you who else we've got our eye on in a second. Alessandro Valaccio is in from Juventus. Now, when a Juventus player, or a former Juventus player, comes available, you have to take a look, and I did. At 19 years of age, he has the potential to be a 4.5-star player. He will be in and around the setup. It says he's available for the Birmingham under-23s. He is, but he is also available for the first team. Hasn't played a game for us in pre-season because I think he's only just come in. There's been that many players. I think at one time I had 12 trialists. It's been a meticulous process finding these players, but with pace of 15, he has the potential to be an awesome player. So it's certainly one to watch, this one. As for what else might come, so you can see that Joe Bryan is on there. We have asked for Bristol City to loan him to us for the season for a loan fee of £32,500 a month. There is also a couple of midfield players. We're a bit short in centre midfield. John Gaztanga from Gymnastique. Now, there are a lot of people looking at this guy, though just to name a few. So Fulham, Osasuna, Real Betis and ourselves, we have offered him a loan deal. Everybody else has offered him money. We haven't got £1.3 million to offer him. But if we can pull it off, he would be a superb signing. Those stats are good for the Championship. So I'm hoping we can pull that off. It's unlikely that it'll happen, but we'll see. Another one is Paul Lozano. We're going to use our affiliate at Arsenal. Again, another player, centre midfield. We haven't got a lot of centre midfield players, so one more will not hurt. And lastly, special mention goes to 2 academy graduates who have made their way into the first team this year. Check-in Keita. He will be the left back until a replacement is found, at least. But in his own right, he will be battling the person who comes in for that position. I know we've looked at Joe Bryan. If that one doesn't come off, then we will have a look for somebody else. Agility of 16, tackling of 14. At 22, he has the potential to be a 4-star player. He was on loan at Bologna last season. He will not be going out on loan this one. And lastly, it is Corey O'Keefe. Now, I said we didn't have an abundance of midfield players. He is one who has been added to the first team picture. Ignore the fact that he wants to go out on loan. If we get in enough midfield players, if the signing of the gymnastic player, who I'm not going to try and pronounce his name again, works out, then he may well go out on loan. He has the potential to be a 3-star player. Currently 1.5 star. He's only 20. He has some good stats. They could be better. They will get better. But he plays in the ball-winning midfield player position, which I do like to have. I need to have at least one of those in the starting 11. If all else fails, Corey O'Keefe will be part of the squad, but you'll find out, obviously, if he gets let out on loan anywhere. So there we go. The incomings, the outgoings, the potential signings. I think I've covered all the bases. I hope you are happy with what we brought in and are looking forward to seeing them. There are a couple there that are youth team players, and they are, you know, it could happen. They might hit, they might miss. Jack Marriott, one that does excite me, paying a lot of money for him, so there's pressure on his shoulders. James Wilson obviously being back for another season to lead the line is great news. Kieran Dowell excites me as well. I think that could be a really good signing. Obviously, we've got the 2 goalkeepers. There is potential for more, and there will be a couple more in the next video. I would imagine I will complete those before the end of the transfer window. And we need some more outs as well to bring Diego Fabrini, Craig Gardner. They may be a couple more, but we'll see how we go with that. If you've enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and would like to do so, please click the subscribe button down in the corner. Thank you for your support as always. It's lovely to have it, and I am always grateful to it and always will be. That was episode 20 of Bringing Back Brum. The new intake is in. The first game of the season is upon us. Let's get going with season 2. See you next time. Bye bye.